Okay, so this is going to be a short video kind of explaining how we get these the frequency amounts in column D. So just to recap, you have your source data, you pick a column that you find interesting and that has plenty of variability in the numbers. In other words, it can't be just ones and twos. And then you answer your questions on the second tab about the sampling method and size and frame. And then over here, you copy and paste your data and then sort it using the auto sort right here. And then from there, you're going to want to find your minimum value, which is the min function, your maximum value, which is the max function, and then the range, which is subtracting those two, and then divide by how many classes that you want to use. Usually 10 or 20 classes is preferred. So I'm going to go ahead and erase what I have here and just start over so that you guys can see what the process is. So I decided that I was going to have 20 classes and each one is 10. So I set up my classes like so, because my data goes from 74 to 270. So if I want the frequency of how many 70 to 80s there are, so in this case I can count. It's pretty straightforward. There's 7 of them, but there's like 10,000 pieces of data, so we don't want to have to count that every time. So if I click on this, I can see what my count is. It's 9950 at the bottom here, where my mouse is. And that's going to be useful for this formula, because we're going to ask Excel to count these up for us. So we want Excel to count all the ones from 70 to 80. So you're using this function called COUNTIF. So you start typing it in, and then it's looking for a range and then criteria. So the range is going to be the whole column, A1 to A9950, because that's where it says it ends. And then we type a comma. And any little mistake in here will throw it off. And then you wanted to put quotes. So I wanted to count it if it's greater than or equal to 70. So what that's going to do is count all the data greater than or equal to 70, which is literally all the data. And I don't want all the data, so I need to then end my quotes and close the parentheses. And I want to subtract everything. So we use the COUNTIF function again. I want it to take everything greater than 80 and subtract it off. So I hope that makes sense. So basically, it's the first part is just counting everything that's greater than 70, and the second part is chopping off everything greater than 80. So comma and then quotes, greater than 80. And end quotes, parentheses, and hit enter. And lo and behold, it counts the 7 and it's popping it into my histogram, which you don't need for this part. So if we take the little corner here where it turns into a plus sign and we drag it down, it copies that formula. So then we just want to edit it so that it makes sense with each category. So this one, I want it greater than or equal to 81. And then we want to chop it off at 90. So anything that's greater than 90, we don't want to count. So the next one, so you just go one by one. So this one, I change it to 91. All I have to do is change the numbers now. And 100. And 101 to 110. So it's a little bit tedious, but that's what you're going to do. Go down one by one and change these numbers. 111 to 120. And then it pops up in your histogram. So it'll take a few minutes, but yeah, just make sure that you grab this function here. Let me make sure I'm going to try to display it a little bit better. Okay, so there's the function that I'm using. And if you need any help, just let me know.